HoLige is a sweet dish. It's a flat bread made with a soft dough of all-purpose flour stuffed with a sweet filling made out of two kinds of dal, that is chana dal and Toor dal, sweetened with jaggary. The reason for using two kinds of dal here is chana dal and Toor dal both are for the texture of the filling, of course, but Toor dal is mainly used for giving that taste for the broth, which is used for making a special kind of rasam, which is a nice accompaniment with the HoLige. This dal filling can be a bit hard to digest, so what I do is after I give a good rinse to the dal, I fill it up with water and bring it to a boil. Once the water starts frothing like this, I discard the water by straining it and give it a good rinse, and then add fresh water to this dal and cook it with a bit of turmeric and oil. Adding turmeric and oil helps the dal cook faster on stove top, and also it helps in better digestion of the dal. Close the lid and let it boil at high heat. Once it boils, reduce the heat, remove the lid and keep stirring and keep checking if the dal is cooked. It might take a bit of time for the dal to cook and become soft. Please be careful as the water will be very hot. Don't use fingers as I have used in this video. You can use a spoon to fetch one dal and let it cool a bit, and then you can mash it on the spoon and check if it is cooked. Save this broth for making the rasam. Now add the cooked dal and powdered jaggary into a thick bottom pan and let it simmer on low heat for 10 to 12 minutes or 15 minutes until you can see that the dal has soaked up the jaggary well. This cooked dal has to be blended to a smooth paste so it is easy to work with. To blend this mixture can be a bit challenging in regular American blender, or it is doable in some of the Indian mixer grinders, but it can be still challenging. I find it way easier to work with this Immersion hand blender. Having thinner consistency makes the blending process easy, but might be hard to work with. So I usually plan ahead and make the dal filling the previous night and refrigerate. Dal tends to harden when it rests for some time. This not only makes the blending easy, it also spreads out the work and makes the whole process a bit easy. Now I am mixing the plain flour to make the dough that holds the stuffing. As this needs some rest time too, I mix this also the previous night and store it in an airtight container and put it in the fridge. Or you can mix it the same day when you're making the HoLige too, but it needs at least 2 hours of rest time. This dough has to be of a softer consistency and needs a lot of oil. The dough should be very oily and stretchy. Has to have high gluten to have the strength to hold the stuffed filling while pressed to a flat bread. I use only all-purpose flour, which is unbleached. Some people add a 1/4 cup of fine semolina. It is totally optional, but I feel it is not necessary. I like just plain flour. This dough has to be kneaded really well so it reaches that stretchy consistency. This dough needs a minimum 2 hours of rest before it can be stuffed and pressed to a flat bread. I prefer overnight. It makes it easy too. I like this process. It's just fun. I'm not sure whether it works or not, but I like to do this every time. My mom used to do it, my grandmom used to do it, so I also continue doing it. Next day morning, I divide the sweet filling into nice round ball so it is easy to stuff and press. Now I organize my assembly area and stuff about 5 at a time and press it and cook it. If you make more, the dough might dry out and might be hard to press. Here I have also dry flour for dusting to make it non-sticky. I have slowed the video a bit so that it is easy for you guys to follow how I fill the stuffing. Here I have stuffed about 5, so I am ready to press it now. I like using these small silicone sheets, baking sheets, which gives me more flexibility to move it around. Roll the rolling pin lightly, do not put too much pressure. Using the rolling pin, you can pick up the thin sheet without breaking while transferring it from the rolling sheet to the hot griddle. Now toast it carefully. Make sure the bottom layer is well toasted before flipping it over. It needs a little bit of practice, but if you have any experience making wheat roti, you should be able to do it easy. This is another way of transferring it from the sheet to the griddle. As this is a baking sheet, it withstands the heat of the hot griddle. You can also flip it from the sheet and place it on the griddle like this. This tastes very good with ghee, and also it goes with some other accompaniments which are savory. I will post those in my next video.